She walked onto the stage barefoot, her clothes worn and faded, her hair tied back with a ribbon that had clearly seen better days. The audience grew quiet, their whispers fading into stillness. No one knew her name yet, but everyone felt the weight of her silence. A poor girl with trembling hands stood in front of the brightest lights she had ever seen, her heart pounding so hard she thought the microphone might pick it up. For years, she had sung only to the walls of a small, cracked room in a shelter. Music had been her escape from hunger, loneliness, and nights where sleep refused to come. Her voice was the only thing that had never abandoned her. But now, standing on the biggest stage of her life, she wondered if her voice would be enough. She could see the judges' skeptical eyes, and she could almost hear the thoughts running through the audience, "She doesn't look like a star." The host asked her name, and she answered softly, "Amelia." That was all she said. No long introduction, no dramatic backstory, just a name carried on a whisper. When the music began, the opening notes of Adele's Rolling in the Deep, Amelia closed her eyes and took the deepest breath she'd ever taken. The first note burst out of her like thunder. Strong. Pure. Heart-wrenching. The crowd gasped. Her voice carried not only melody but pain of rejection, of hunger, of the countless nights spent wondering if she mattered. Every lyric she sang felt lived, every word heavy with truth. By the time she reached the chorus, the audience was on their feet, clapping in rhythm, tears streaming down the faces of strangers who had never met her but suddenly felt like they knew her whole story. But Amelia remembered the challenges that had brought her to this moment. She remembered the bullies who mocked her for her ragged clothes, the teachers who said she would never go far, the empty fridge at home that left her singing on an empty stomach. She remembered practicing her voice outside, beneath the stars, because she didn't have a place of her own where she could sing freely. All of it poured out of her in that performance, a lifetime of struggle condensed into 3 minutes. The final note lingered in the air, raw and soaring. For a moment, the stage was silent. Amelia thought she had failed. But then, the sound of a hand slamming down echoed through the theater, the golden buzzer. Golden confetti rained from the ceiling, swirling around her like a dream she never dared to dream. The judges were crying. One of them leaned forward and said, "You reminded us why this stage exists. To give someone like you, someone who refuses to give up, the chance to be heard." Amelia dropped to her knees, covering her face with her hands as the audience roared. For the first time, she wasn't invisible. For the first time, the world saw her not as a poor girl, but as an artist. Her journey didn't end there. Fame didn't erase the scars of the past, and success didn't come without new struggles. She had to learn to trust, to manage the pressure of expectation, and to remember why she sang in the first place. But every time doubt crept in, she remembered that night. The night she stood on a stage with nothing but her voice and won the golden buzzer. Her story spread across the world, reaching people who were fighting their own battles. Letters poured in from those who felt forgotten, each one saying the same thing, "Because of you, I believe I can try again." And that became Amelia's message. That no matter where you come from, no matter how broken your beginning may seem, your voice matters. Your story matters. She had gone from a girl who sang to the walls of a shelter to a girl who inspired millions. And all it took was courage, a song, and the belief that even the poorest voices can echo the loudest when they carry truth. By the end of her journey, Amelia no longer introduced herself softly. She stood tall, smiled, and said with pride, "My name is Amelia, and I am proof that hope sings louder than despair."